Good evening. Good evening. Hi, Debbie from Florida. Hey, Kathy. So it's 6 p.m. It's January 29th. Doesn't it seem like time's flying? Huh? Doesn't it seem like it's October 23rd or something? Does it really feel like January 29th, 2021? Doesn't it seem like it's more like October 2020? Doesn't it? Hi, Lisa. I'm glad you're safe so far. So listen. I swear, isn't it amazing that time flies when I'm doing more nothing than I have ever done before? Wait, I could turn that into something. I have done nothing more than I have ever done before. Sounds like the beginnings of a kind of an Emancipation Proclamation type of speech. Boom, back at you, Mark. So, um, again, I did everything I could. Now, hey, Ray Dean, Kathy, two Kathys. All right, so listen. What a day, huh? I did as little as possible, except for walk along this creek. Normally I bicycle it, but I walked it, did it. And I posted about my vacuum cleaner, and Kathy said, could I do the dance the lady is doing with the vacuum? And the answer was, I could, but I'd probably break something. Remember the old saying, yo, shake it, but don't break it? Yeah, I was the one that broke it. So, back to what I was talking about. So it was kind of a lazy day, right? So but I did vacuum. I can vacuum every day now. I'm telling you, man. If Listen, most of you are still stuck. You are still anchored to the wall with your vacuum cleaner, right? Hey, Chris and Becky, you plug it in. And so some of you have 20 feet of cord, some of you have 30 feet of cord, right? Am I right? Nobody's got more than 30 feet. Otherwise, you're like working with an industrial model. You got 30 feet of cord. And I don't want to hear about Roomba. Okay, we'll talk about Roomba another time. Right now, we're talking about corded versus cordless. All right. So don't get ahead of me. You're anchored. You're anchored to the wall. You're sitting there. You're vacuuming. You're getting into it. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling good about, you're hearing the sound of dirt going up into the vacuum makes that little, that little noise, that debris going up, and you're like, yeah, I'm getting it done, baby. I got dust in my floor, but not anymore. I got cat litter on the kitchen floor, but not anymore. I'm doing it, baby. I'm knocking it out, right? So, no, I'm not doing a commercial for the product. The product happens to be Tornado, but none of you have ever heard it, and don't worry about it. But that's another good story. So listen, you're anchored to a wall and you're trying to vacuum. No, free yourself, free yourself. Because here's what happens with a cordless vacuum: you turn it on and you start to vacuum. You vacuum the entire room. You can even get under the bed with my vacuum because it folds all the way down under the bed, back. Now, you got to the end of the carpet. It's the end of the room. There's the living room and the kitchen, and they don't have carpeting. Doesn't matter. Automatically adjust, and then you just keep going. You got through the kitchen. You got all the kitty litter, all the little things, crumbs that you drop when you're eating toast. I don't care. Boom, turn around, keep going. You ain't turned it off yet. It's still working. You get in the living room. Tile floors, you say? No problem. Zoom, bang, pow. You got the tile floors done. You want to go into the bedrooms because the other bedrooms at the other end of the house? If you want. That's how you do it. How do we get all the way here in 4 minutes? So listen, y'all are wondering, how did we get here? How did we even get on the subject of a vacuum? Because I'm just delighted, man. Because listen, I bought an electric bike, maybe 8 years ago. Changed my life, right? The aging process was diminishing my capabilities on a bicycle. I'm just not as strong as I used to be, but I'm okay, right? But I like the time spent on bike. I like exploring. I like getting fresh air. And what I found, life changing, got an electric bike. I could explore more without the anxiety of, what if I get lost? What if I get tired? What if it get too hot? What if it get too cold? Whatever it was, it changed my life. Guess what? Cordless vacuum. Now, to be honest with you, I had two cordless vacuums, but they were not made for carpeted floors. They're made for what do you call it? Hard floors. Hard floors. So I would do the floors in, especially the kitchen. Every day I got to do the kitchen because I got three cats, and anybody who's got three cats, you know why I have to do the kitchen because the cat litter box is in there, right? Okay, so I would do that, and then I would do the living room because that's a tile floor too. Boom, it's okay. But what about my bedroom? Now I got to go get the corded vacuum out. The closet in the front of the house, it's like with the coat closet. I gotta drag it across the house. I gotta find which outlet I'm gonna use. I plugs it in. I'm vacuuming. I run out of cord. Okay, what am I gonna do? I gotta pull out the plug. I gotta move around. I gotta connoiter, right? I gotta connoiter. Where is it that I want to do next? Where's the best, most efficient plug? Because I don't want to keep plugging and unplugging, right? So I do it again. Boom, bap, bing, bang. Another 30 feet and I'm out of business, right? No, not anymore, man. I'm revved up. I'm revved up. It's like getting on the bicycle. I can bike until I'm tired, and then you know what I do? I turn on my battery, or I turn up my battery. My life is being transformed by battery power. My car, well, I have a van now, but we own a Prius. It's got a battery in it. The Prius goes much further because it's a combination of battery and yes, connoiter. It's part of reconnoiter, but I don't want to reconnoiter. First, I have to connoiter, and it's a T, not a D. So allow technology to infuse your life for the better. Now, let's get on to Roomba, okay? Because after I posted about my Tornado vacuum, that's the brand. Yes, oh boy, a battery. After I forgot what I was going to say because I looked at, oh boy, a battery. Roomba. Okay. So I posted today on Facebook and I'm like, hey, yay. I made a good investment, right? Somebody says, oh, you should have got a Roomba, and I've heard that before. I've heard that from 3 other people, right? You need a Roomba. But here's the thing, a couple of things about a Roomba. First off, I do not believe for 1 minute it could possibly have as good a suction because it's a smaller device. I have a stand-up vacuum, okay? By definition, it's just more powerful. And 2, I heard that you had to empty your Roomba after each use because it's got a lot of dust in it, right? And 3, I don't believe it's going to go everywhere they say it's going to go. I'm sorry. I know people rave about the Roomba. I'm raving about a cordless vacuum over which I maintain total control. Okay? I can do the whole house too. And then I just connect it to a battery charger. It's like riding a bike, man. I come home, I take my battery off of the bike, I bring it inside, I plug it into a charger. Next day, I'm ready to roll. Anyways, I don't know how we got here. I'm just enthusiastic. I've had my vacuum cleaner for about 3 days. And you know when you make an investment, Roomba gets all the cat hair from under the furniture. That may be. I get all the cat hair from under the furniture because I just fold down my vacuum cleaner all the way and get right up under the furniture. Lisa says the cats love to ride Roombas. I've seen videos of that. I'm not buying it. My cats don't like things with motors. So if a Roomba was walking around my room, let's take my bedroom, this room, where the cats tend to reside, I'm telling you now, something comes on with a motor and starts working itself around. Um, it's the cats will fly across the room. They'll jump up into their condo. They are not. I cannot. My cats ain't Roomba riding. They're not big on motors. I think I know why you're happy. Well, I'm not happy the same way Bill Maher gets happy. We know Bill Maher is loves his weed, loves to smoke some weed. I don't get the advantage of smoking the weed, so I have to find other forms of amusement. And a cordless vacuum apparently is one of those things that can make me happy. So I'm not investing in a Roomba at this time. Roomba may be the cat's meow. See the way I did that. It may be everything I ever wanted. I just not aware of it, but I know when I turn on my full size electric vacuum, I know where I want to go. I know how I want to get there. I know the spots I want to focus on. I'm a happy camper. And then I got two others. They're cordless, but they're small. They're not designed for carpeting. And then I got a handheld electric that gets the little crevices and the corners and stuff. Anyways, you didn't come here today to talk about vacuum cleaners. Yes, Joan, I gave my Dyson away in the divorce. The ex-wife got the Dyson. Okay, that was a corded Dyson. I still have two cordless Dysons, the handheld and the cat hair. They call it the pet vacuum. So thank you, John. So listen, what else is there to talk about? Well, I'll tell you what else there is to talk about in case you're done talking about vacuums. But feel free to post your opinions or your sentiments about your vacuum. I'm more than happy to know that your experience, obviously I'm gauging from the reaction y'all don't get as turned on by vacuum as I do, but some of you really, maybe you like washing windows. Maybe you really get a deal, when you're watching a window go from dirty to clean, right? Maybe that's a kick. Maybe just, and I'm sticking to cleaning right now. I know there's more fun things to do than vacuum or do windows or wash dishes. How high did you need for this how high a what? Loan did you need for this $1 million vacuum? Thank you. All right. So the vacuum was, listen, so all right, here's another little anecdote, right? So I wanted to cord this vacuum. I wanted to replace one that's beginning to slow down and die, right? And so I got online and looked up cordless vacuums. Well, I just didn't feel good not seeing them. The first one I bought, I never saw. I bought it on Amazon, and it's worked fine. But I've had it a couple of years. It's beginning to slow down. So I thought to myself, there's a vacuum store right by the bicycle shop. I'm going to go to the vacuum store one day after I leave the bike store. So I did. I went in, and the guy helped me with one of my vacuums recently because, I had my shark wasn't working. Turned out it was just, I remember I bought a Christmas tree type thing, and the leaves, the needles were falling off. Well, it jammed up two of my vacuums. All right. So what am I going to do? Right. Woody's, Ginny. I went to Woody's. I went in. He found out that my vacuum wasn't working last month because it was stuck up with the little needles. So I went back to him and I said, can you show me a cordless vacuum? And he showed me one. And then he said, we've got a full size do the carpet thing. I'm like, well, show it to me. It's called the Ricard. If you know anything about Ricard, they're pricey, right? They're only sold at vacuum stores. You can't buy them at a big box store, right? So I run around his store with it, and I like it, but it's too much money. So I went home, I pulled it up, just do some research on it, and somebody in a review said, yeah, it's a nice vacuum, but you can get the same thing, same specs from Tornado for much cheaper. Now, you're wondering, how much was it? I don't mind telling you, 450, $450 for a guy who vacuums every day because his three cats leave a mess everywhere they go. I love my Saxby, but I would vacuum more if it wasn't for that cord. Yes, yes. Um, Folding laundry is my jam. I used to have to wash all the dishes growing up, so that feels like punishment, as does vacuuming. All right, I get it, I get it. All right, Kathy, her dishwasher makes her happy. See, Debbie doesn't like Roombas. She's with me, okay? All right, so I think we've cleared the air. I think we now know a couple of things. For those of us that vacuum, cordless would be a welcome attraction. I haven't heard anybody say that wouldn't be a benefit. So I think, can we all agree? All right, consensus. Next, most you don't care to vacuum, but but you do have something in the form of house cleaning that brings you some kind of satisfaction. We had a yellow shag carpet, and my mom was a clean freak. We had a special shag rug rake that we had to rake the rug with as part of our chores growing up. Oof. If you had added an OS at the end of your oof, it would be UFOs, which is what I wear on my feet around the house. UFOs. I love my UFOs. So, Ginny apparently doesn't like anything to do with cleaning house. Her response is simple: nope. How long does it take? How long does it hold the charge, Joan? It will do 2,000 square feet, they say. So far, I didn't run out of a charge while I'm using it. Kathy, you paid, so you got an upscale vacuum. It's worth it sometimes, and sometimes it's not. Listen, I've got a Shark that I paid, I don't know, about 100 and something for. I got a Hoover that I got at Walmart for $50, and then I got the two cordless. So I had four vacuums, and now I have five. Um, it holds plenty charge. New batteries are great, by the way. So I want to tell you a story about a shag carpet rake. Okay, you've stimulated my memories. So I had this friend in Alcoholics Anonymous who was a crackhead, lovely man, little younger than me. He was about 56 years old. Really liked him, but he couldn't stay clean. And he's passed away from drugs. But for about 4 years, we were pretty tight. Ray Dean met him. His name was Chucky. And so Chucky once asked me and this other guy, would we come to his house? Because in his house, he had built himself a little area where he used drugs, crack. He was a crack smoker. So we go over there, and of course, the house is a mess. It's a mess. As crackhead, his wife just tried to ignore that her husband was a crackhead and act as if life goes on. Anyways, he had built himself this little cardboard house in the irrelevant. We dismantled his little cardboard hovel that he would go in, and he had a shag rug and he had a rake. And I had never seen a shag rug rake. It was lucky he had it because he was a diabetic and took insulin. So mixed in along with all the other garbage in his shag rug was things like needles or syringes. So I was real grateful. And that was my first and last time using a shag rug rake. We have a Dyson, but it kind of sucks. Think we got a bad one. Well, they come with a good warranty, but if it's out of warranty, then they're just expensive. And Kathy's motor went out on her Dyson. So, all right, I have a story about my Dyson that Rachel still has. So we had fleas. fleas came in through the garden, through the cats. They got on the cats and they came in the house and they infected the house and they infected my daughters, infested my daughters. So I don't know about you guys, but you have to, I brought in a professional extermination, right? You bring in True Green. I don't know, Chemex. Anyways, that was real expensive, and the fleas didn't leave. So then I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Probably got a second helping of the chemicals. Ultimately, what we had to do was we had to use silica, right? It's the stuff you spread. I forget what they call it. It's got a name, and you put it on your carpet, and then when the fleas their eggs hatch, it scratches their back and they die. So fleas all gone. I go to vacuum it up, and that silica destroyed the motor. Destroyed it. This is why I have so many vacuums now. No, it's not the reason I have so many. It's the reason I have one extra. So anyways, I get divorced. I give the Dyson because she liked it. I gave that to Rachel. I don't care, right? But the guy at the store, the vacuum store, not Woody's, another one, he said, oh, man, that stuff will destroy. He fixed the motor. He said, yeah, you had all this. It's essentially, it's like salt. It's like big salt. It's bad juju. It's like glass, actually. So anyways, he said, yeah, and you're going to have more. And, I knew that I had more because the new vacuum that I bought while I was getting Dyson mix was turning white powder too. So he said, if I were you, I'd buy you the cheapest vacuum you can until you get all of that out. So that's why I bought the Hoover, for $50 at Walmart and was using that just on the floors that I had. Wow, how convoluted a life do some of us live? Because, listen, frankly, it cost me about $1,000 between the repair on the Dyson, having this company come out twice, this chemical company, exterminators come out twice, putting down all the remedies all the time. But so that's how I landed up with 2 corded vacuums. Okay. One that I didn't want to destroy. That's the Shark. The other one, by the way, another feature of my cordless is the headlights. I like headlights on my vacuum cleaners. I have them on some and not on others. And I want to tell you, I like the way the headlights pick up the glint of like some litter or something as you're moving around on not on carpeted floors so much, but on flat hard floors, tile floors. The headlights pick up the glint of lint or something. I like that. I like having lights, and the lights are burnt out on one of mine. Ginny loves headlights. I hope you mean when you're vacuuming. I hope this isn't I didn't stimulate some sort of crazy notion that Prius headlights are just the coolest thing. Ginny's got a Prius too. I have a Prius. She's got a Prius. I don't know if any of you have a Prius besides us. Debbie lights a light. So you two know what I'm talking about. A light is really, I never had a light on a vacuum. And then once you get it, you're kind of like, why don't they all have it? And then when you're shopping, you find yourself looking, let's pretend you're on Amazon, right? And you're scrolling and looking at the various features and you're like, oh, this one doesn't have headlights. Swipe. Oh, okay. Oh, look, there's one of the headlights. Okay. Thank you, Ginny. I thought so. Ray Dean, I like the soft feel of clean carpet on the feet. I walk around barefoot a lot on my carpet, and I'm going to tell you something. I do not like the feel of anything besides the carpet. I don't like the feel of little pieces of litter or any type of debris whatsoever. Okay? All right. So that's Chris has a Prius too. So 3 of us have Priuses. Donna, you are too much. Ain't nothing wrong with headlights. I hope, again, we are talking vacuums and that Donna is not injecting automotive headlights or something else weird, some fetish for headlights. Again, I hope we're all still operating in the domain of vacuums. Chris, no worry. I didn't treat it as you shouting at me. Donna's shouting. She's saying too much. By the way, most of you haven't seen Donna here before, but you and I don't know how she made it here tonight, but she is certainly welcome, along with you other Hyde Parkers that are here. Some of you know Donna. Donna's a friend of mine from back in the day. Oh my God, seeing Donna when I'm strolling down memory lane is a memory itself, because Donna and I, we got verbally bitch slapped repeatedly because she's black and I'm white. And I want to tell you, if you want to study in race relations, be a white man and a black woman and walk around the south side of Chicago. You will get a harsh lesson in race relations. But, we just kind of took it in stride back then. And we weren't dating. It's not that we were dating. We were just hanging. We were just doing the thing, being the friendship. Oh, Joan, please don't feel bad you don't have a headlight on your vacuum. Donna Bailey, let's not stroll down memory lane. I'm sorry. Well, let me take it all back then. All right? I mean, if that's what you meant. That's part of the problem is, I don't know exactly what you mean when let's not. Was that about strolling down memory lane, or was that about having a fetish for headlights? Joan, maybe what you could do is you could take a flashlight and duct tape it. No, you know what you do? You go get a vacuum that's got a light on it if you're going to vacuum. Your next vacuum should have a light. By the way, so Donna's daughter and my son had the same terrific babysitter. So listen, tonight's post is Anjelah Johnson, and it's a comedy routine. I thought it was funny. And speaking of race relations, she says how guys describe you when he hits on you, and she goes into how different men of different races will hit on you. I thought it was funny, and then she does a whole routine about her getting her nails done at a Vietnamese salon, and I thought this is good. And then I added something that I encourage you to check out. I threw in a bonus tune tonight. My sister Karen, some of you know her, most of you don't. My sister Karen is a Rufus Wainwright fan. Fan would be mild. She's a super fan, right? And so she posts Rufus all the time. Rufus Wainwright. Well, he did a version of Hallelujah. She posted it, Dan. I've posted Hallelujah by different artists here on my podcast, and I thought, there's another version. Again, it proves to me you just won't find a bad version of Hallelujah. I don't even know what the song's about. It doesn't matter. I like listening to it. I've heard many people do it. Katie Lang does a great version of Hallelujah. Leonard Cohen did a good version. There's many good versions. And now I've added Rufus Wainwright to your satisfaction. You can listen to it and enjoy it. It's a bonus link. I gave you 2 links, comedy and Hallelujah. Chris's Swiffer has headlights. I have a Swiffer, but it's the kind that it's like a little teeny mop kind of thing. I mean, it's, and you press a button and it spreads out this nasty smelling stuff, and then you can do small jobs with it. I have it somewhere along the line. I bought 1 million pads, so I can't stop using it. By the way, with my Swiffer, I did learn to hack the bottle. For those of you that have a Swiffer and use the bottle's expensive and it smells. You can take that bottle off when it's done. You can dip it in boiling hot water, heat some water up to where it's, and stick it in for about a minute or so, 90 seconds, pull it out, and the cap will come off. Fill it with detergent and water, and then put the cap back on, put it back on the deal, and you now have really essentially just soap and water to do your floors with. All right? Thank you, Lisa. An Anjelah Johnson fan. She loves her stand-up and her character. She does real good accents, doesn't she? Retrofit vacuums with headlights. You know, if we could, we should, Kathy. We really should, if we could. We could if we should. I'm sorry. I wore myself out talking about vacuums. What are the odds, right? Oh, I locked the door and somebody's trying to get in. Maybe I need to end. Hold on a second. Hello? 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 It says live view. Have y'all got this ring bell? Hi. Hello? You're supposed to be able to talk to people, but it doesn't always work, I don't think. So I'm trying to open the door with my bell, but it doesn't do that. Hello? 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 Wow. I feel out of sorts. All right. Be right back. All right, the cat. Go. Watch. All right. I asked the cat to continue the show, and they didn't. Vacuum salesman? I wasn't trying to sell vacuums. I'm just having a good time. Chris, go ahead, rub it in. All right. So it was a nice day to ride bikes. You know what? Sometimes you could say any day is a nice day to ride a bike, except when it rains. You could say that. I was afraid they said it was going to get windier as the day went on, so I went for a walk. Excusez-moi. All right. Lisa, you have a Ring doorbell? It's problematic. Well, I don't know what you mean, but yeah, I just tried to talk through it, and I don't think I was successful. Oh, yeah, a vacuum salesman at the door. No, it's the Fuller Brush Man, Ray Dean, or Fuller Brush Woman. I don't want to be a sexist, but yeah, that's all it was. That's funny. They used to come to your house with vacuum cleaners, didn't they? I forgot that, but I remember the Fuller Brush Man. I don't know how many of you remember the Fuller Brush Man. I think it goes in the category of having your milk delivered by a milkman in a milk truck with milk bottles, and not milk cartons, milk bottles. So we had Scotty. Scotty worked for Hunting Dairies in Chicago, and he would come by, and he always did the same thing every time we saw him. It doesn't come every day. The guy comes, maybe twice a week. Scotty, cool. I loved the milk truck. It had an unusual look, right? So you'd always run up to Scotty, hey, because he had ice, right? And especially in the summer, he would chop off a piece of ice for us to suck on the ice. Well, here's what he did every time he saw us. He would do like this, right? He'd be holding some ice, and he'd do this with an ice pick, a genuine ice pick, and then he would go through his two fingers and go, oh, look what I did. Oh, I stabbed myself. We always, he did that for years. And I expect Hunting Dairy is probably gone now. It was over there on 55th Street. Your dad used to sell door-to-door vacuums. I'll bet he was good at it too. And Chris used to sell Kirby's door-to-door, because Kirby's are really expensive. I looked into Kirby's. You got to have an upscale audience for selling Kirby's. Look at how we turned 34 minutes of life into an exploration about the quality of vacuuming. And I just want to tell you that I heard you each individually, what your preferences are, what your vacuums are. And I want to tell you, when you look at it in its in all of it together, there's a term. I got the best vacuum. I've got the vacuum, the cordless vacuum that I control myself. Some creep went through your stuff in your cars and Ring doorbell saw nothing. Well, that you can adjust, right? We have to charge it all the time. Okay, so Lisa brought up a good point about this Ring doorbell. I love my Ring doorbell, but mine is wired, Lisa. I saw the rechargeable one, the one that were, and I was sure I didn't want to have that one. Yeah, no. Yeah. So with the Ring doorbell, if you guys aren't familiar, look at it. We're doing household products one after another, right? All right. So if you have a Ring doorbell, you could be somewhere else and somebody rings it and your phone will vibrate or whatever it does. And then you can look, and if it's somebody, banging on your door, you can say, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "Oh, I've got, I'm trying to, I'm selling magazines. Well, I'm just got out of the shower. Please go away. Come back another time," because you don't want them to know you're not there, right? Or you say, "Oh, I'm cooking right now. Go away," and they think you're in the house because you could be in Europe, and it would work. I sold filter queens too. I have no idea what a filter queen is, Chris. I've had 8 careers. None of them involved Kirby's or filter queens. I'm feeling like there's things that I should have done. There's things that maybe I didn't do door-to-door sales. Yeah, Lisa, you cheaped out and got the charge you want. You get what you pay for. I'm listening to you. I'm glad that I never had to charge my bell. I took out the old one. I put in the new one. So I took out the old ding dong. You remove it, you take the wires, you put them in the back of you take your existing wires, you put them in the back of your new Ring, and you can see when somebody comes to the door. If anybody comes in and out of my house, it tells me. So like the U.S. Postal Service says, "Oh, we delivered that package to your house on this day." And I'm like, no, there's no package. Well, did you look, under the bench? Did you look in your yard? I'm like, listen, man, I looked everywhere and I got video, and my video doesn't show anybody at any time moving in front of my door. Your postal man is lying. He didn't come to my house. So then they said, "Oh, he went to a different address." $1,400 for a Kirby in the 80s? Or is that a filter queen? Because I don't know what a filter queen is. So maybe a filter queen is $1,400. That's a lot of freaking money. So when you sold those, you were selling people installment notes too. You were offering financing, because in the 80s, $1,400 was like buying a Volkswagen, man. Wow. All right, so let's move along. Let's cover the rest of the territory before we have to go, because we have some things like Meta. Let's see, we covered doorbells, vacuum cleaners, Swiffers, which is a mini mop, okay? Although there must be a Swiffer with headlights, so that must be a vacuum cleaner that Chris has. I'm not that enamored with my Swiffer mop. Both, it does both. So maybe next time we'll talk about how to shampoo your carpet. I happen to borrow a shampooer from a friend of mine. Otherwise, I don't know what I would do. Oh, Lisa, your home was built in the 40s. I didn't know they had houses in Dallas built in the 40s. For those of you that live elsewhere, Dallas is a relatively new city to me. So when I lived in Chicago, the newest house I ever owned was 50 years old. Of the other homes I owned or lived in, they were typically about 80 years old, 80 to 100 years old, I think. And so I thought that was pretty unique to, in contrast to Dallas, where everything I've looked at, because we where I live, built in like late 70s, early 80s. And I found that wherever I went, Lisa, right? Yeah. So you live in an old ass neighborhood, M Streets. I dig it. I drove through there, and I thought to myself, those houses are a little small. So Swiffer mop it doesn't have headlights then, Chris. Mops don't have headlights. You're never going to shampoo the carpet again, Kathy? Ever? I mean, look at this. If anybody ever tunes in like tonight, if somebody says, oh, let me go listen to Ken's podcast. I missed it, right? And so they'll tune it in and they'll go, what the fuck was he doing? What was he talking about? Why would anybody have even stuck around long enough to listen to him pontificate about a cordless vacuum cleaner, much less about shampooing the carpet? Never again. Yes, Lisa, there are a lot of cool old homes over there, but I don't like the neighborhood. I like the looks of the homes, and I still think a lot of the homes are too small for the money you pay. Where I live, I got my bang for the buck. Bang for the buck. And I'll tell you, you're real close to the action, and I don't need to be close to the action. Lisa lives in an area called M Streets. All the streets start with an M, and it's right near a lot of the action. I used to participate in some of that action, and it's a cute neighborhood. It's got more of that community sensibility than where I live is like duplexes. I talked to two of my neighbors, maybe. It's not really community. Where she lives, there's more a sense of community, and but I ain't there. I ain't going there. I'm happy up here, away from all the action. Ken Goldberg does not need to be in the midst of action. Anybody that's known me for over 13 years, because I've been clean and sober 13 years, if you knew me prior to getting clean, I don't need to be near any action. And Lisa's right down the street from some crummy, seedy bars, and gunshots are coming. Well, thanks for underlining, emphasizing, exclamation mark, why I wouldn't live down there. Debbie, if you don't have any carpet, what do you walk barefoot on? Because Ray Dean and I, we like to walk barefoot on carpeting. It feels nice. I've always enjoyed that. And I don't like debris underneath my feet. In fact, I told you I own some UFOs. Now let me tell you a little bit about UFOs, because I'm on a roll tonight, and I'm going to wrap up in a moment, right? So I bought these UFOs at REI because I don't remember why. Because I don't wear sandals. Ken Goldberg doesn't wear sandals. Not ever. 60-some years old, had never worn sandals. I tried them once. I don't like them. I'm sorry I bought them, right? For some reason, I decided I needed something like this for around the house after my ride on my bike, because my feet from being on a pedal they get right. So I saw these UFOs. I wasn't looking for them. I saw them at REI because I'm at REI all the time. And so I'm like, I put them on my feet. They felt good. Well, I thought about it. I went back to get them, and I saw that Crocs were cheaper, and they looked exactly like them. So I'm like, I'm not stupid. I bought the Crocs. I brought the Crocs home. Next day, I took them back. Crocs didn't do a thing for me, man. My feet hurt after a half hour in them, right? Okay, took them back. Got the UFOs, paid them more money. Boom. All right. Off I went to Thailand, took my UFOs, right? And for the first time, I wore my UFOs out in public. I mean, I went out all day in them. I had never gone out in something like Crocs or outside. That's silly. I wear shoes. Anyways, it wasn't bad. I thought to myself, if I ever become a monk again, UFOs will come in handy because you can't wear shoes. You wear sandals. Okay. I got that down. I got my UFOs. Now, you're going to think I'm nuts. I got a backup UFO. Okay. So here's the plan, because I don't like debris under my feet, right? So here's what I've come up with. I'm going to wear the ones on my feet. Okay. When I do things around the house. But if I go out of the house with my UFOs, like to the mailbox or something, I'll use the ones I have on now. They're used. And then inside the house, I'm going to wear a pair of UFOs that have never been outdoors, so that I am not bringing debris from outdoors indoors. Next step after that is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my shoes off at the door, and I'm not going to wear my shoes now. So I'm going to wear my UFOs or my bare feet. I'm the bomb. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. So I got a picture of, wow. He's got a Swiffer with headlights. OMG. Oh my word. I have a Swiffer like that. No headlights. All right. I hate bare feet in dirt, Radim. By the way, just FYI, I hate the feel of dirt on my bare feet. Ever since I was a little kid, I am not down with bare feet and dirt. Okay? This may explain why I never went for the whole sandal thing either. I bring my hands before my heart. I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. I do this because I want to send out loving kindness before I leave you. I do this because I've learned a long time ago that no day should go by without the generation of a little bit of metta, loving kindness, goodwill, compassion. May I be happy, healthy, free from harm, free from anger, animosity, and fear. May this practice of ours lead to greater peace and comfort. May my mother and father and all my family members, all my friends, all you people be happy, be healthy, be free from harm. May you all find your path that leads to peace and comfort. May those persons I feel resentment or ill will towards, may they be happy and healthy, living their lives carefree with joy and peace. And may all living beings, humans and non-humans, wherever they may be in this universe, be the recipients of our goodwill, our collective compassion. May all living beings be happy, healthy, and free from harm. May all living beings be safe, comfortable, and at peace. Amen. Satu. Namaste. However you wish to end, do that thing. Do that thing. Don't like sand on your feet, neither do I. All right. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Lisa and Mark and Ann and Debbie and Kathy and Ginny and, anybody that stopped by, Joan, Rachel. I don't remember who else maybe dropped in at some point. Donna. I doubt if Donna stayed. I think I pissed her off when I said something about walking around with her when we were young. I don't know. She didn't say anything again except nope. So I'm not positive what nope meant, but I think it was kind of like, nope, nope, like slapping my hand, like, don't go there. All right. So thank you all. Thank you, Chris. Let's ride soon.